I wanted to present on the p5.js library that I use to create all interactive buttons and sliders in my program. This library is called CanvasGUI, and it was created by Peter Lager. So this library is available on a website called Quark's Place. However, that's not where I originally heard of it. So I found out about CanvasGUI on P5's official website. So the official website has a page dedicated specifically to libraries. And on that library page, there is a specific section for user interface libraries. And CanvasGUI was the first library in that section. And so this library creates buttons, sliders, checkboxes, all of which are available on your canvas. And so I wanted to go into a little bit more detail on the specific features that this library offers. So apart from what I've already mentioned, the library can also create labels, rangers, and joysticks. Another feature that I thought was particularly interesting, I didn't need this for my own program, but if you are creating a program that needs lots of buttons within a specific section of your interface, you can actually create a grid using this library and then map out these buttons. And then what you can do is you can use the side panes feature, which is the second last feature on this table. And what it does is it takes that whole grid of buttons and shifts it off of your interface, leaving just a tab on the edge of your screen. When you are needing those buttons again, you can just click on that tab and it shifts the whole grid of buttons back onto your interface. It wasn't needed in my program, but I thought that this was a really neat feature that this library has. So if you wanted to use this library, CanvasGUI actually provides you with the entire script that you would need. So you would just copy and paste it directly into your existing code in order to use this library. It's important to note that if you are using open processing, you would just need to copy and paste this URL over here into your open processing window on the right-hand side in order to use this library. Another thing that I found really helpful about this library is that it provides you with a starter sketch. This was especially helpful for me as I'm a beginner coder. So what it does is it tells you where in the setup function you would have to create all of your buttons, as well as where to put all of your personal code in the draw function to ensure that the library codes appear at the end so that all of your buttons are drawn on top of everything else that's already drawn on your canvas. So I wanted to go over how to create a button using the CanvasGUI library. So as you can see, I have some examples of buttons here. These are buttons that I created with this library and implemented them within my coding program. So to start, you would type out GUI.button. If you wanted to create a slider instead of .button, you would just say .slider. Next, you would then declare the variable name, the X and Y coordinates, as well as the width and the height. Next, you would specify what you want your label to say. So if I wanted to create the next button, I would enter next here. Text size then indicates how large you would want your label text to be. Then we head over to scheme. So this indicates what color you would like your buttons to be. So by default, CanvasGUI sets all buttons to blue. So if you don't mention a scheme, they will be blue. However, this library does have 9 different colors to choose from, some of which include red, green, and purple. And different buttons can be different colors. What I found most helpful is actually the set action portion of this code. So set action here actually handles all of the event handling for you. So if you would like your button to have functionality once you click on that button, you would then enter any of that code in these curly brackets right over here. I have included a QR code here linking directly to the library website in case anyone is interested in learning more about the library or using it in their future programs. Thank you for listening.